Yo, what up? It's your boy Soulo. Now we're back again with another one. As you can see, we are around nature, breathing in that good ass air, staying grounded and in harmony. And today's gonna be about how humans in general just, they care about work and business more than do about nature, the divine order, God itself, and just being relatable towards nature. You gotta have common sense when it comes to our reality and how shit works. Everything is in synchronicity. We see nature's interacting with each other. Everything is coming together to form something. And humans that only care about work, business, and all these things, capitalism, building a world and not giving back to nature. When you're literally plucking from nature to build all these things, doesn't make any sense, and you should, reconsider your belief and how you do things spiritually, because everybody has a spiritual system. It's just how you go about it, and you might not even realize it. You might not even be into spirituality, but you are a spiritual being utilizing your spiritual tools to do what you're doing. Your mind and your emotions. Those are your masculine and feminine aspects to create your reality. And this is what we're all doing together to create our reality. The spirit is nothing becoming something. The spirit became, the spirit developed an awareness, an idea, an imagination, a vision, and that's what's condensing into physical reality. You can say it as you having a dream, and that's how it's happening first before it becomes physical. So how are you going to pluck from nature and not give back? We're supposed to, if we're going to use the resources from nature, we're supposed to build something that we can sustain ourselves. And, build a structure where it can benefit everybody. And nature itself, we should be farming, we should be planting, we should be gathering and feeding, harvesting everybody. But it's like people are so greedy and blind and delusional with their own minds. People become degenerate. But it's the system to blame. Not all to blame, because you also have the ability to go within yourself and ask yourself, it has to be deeper than this. But you see, people get lost in a desire. People get lost in greed and the ego, in a comfort zone, aka you getting lost in your idea, the masculine energy, and that, you go into that internally, you have feelings about that emotionally, and that's what's condensing into, your world. That's how you feel about the world and how you conduct things. And you have people in power who's getting lost in their ego, controlling people so they can build their world. And it's the same way how natives got colonized without understanding the truth. And the natives was trying to teach all these things. But there's gonna be a few bad eggs that don't understand. So you got degenerate people who just don't care. And you got to wake up, because it's not all about how you see things. We got to be relatable and in sync with how we do things. And as I said before, everything in nature is relatable. You cannot be isolated for too long and do things by yourself, because it took two people to create who you are. It took organisms to create your organs. It took a bunch of different ideas to come together and develop something. Shout out to Uriel for that. But yeah, people got this type of mindset that they only live once. They think they only live once, but in reality, how you only live once if everything in nature is evolving? Everything in nature, is experiencing different things, and we haven't experienced other types of awarenesses yet that's getting ready to be developed, you know, being further than a human vessel. And, you know, we are evolving every day, you know, you don't think the same as you do every other day previously, or weekly, or monthly. You know, you always have a different mindset every year, and so on. So there's a shift going on that, you know, many people don't see and understand how it's working. But this is just, you know, us creating our experience and evolving. So, you know, like I said, how are people gonna pay attention to work and business more than they do about nature, when we literally pluck from nature to create our products? That shit don't make any sense. So it's like there is karmic debt when it comes to that type of stuff, especially when, you know, people in power and in control who are corrupted and greedy has been doing this for too long. It doesn't matter if you don't see the result, the karma right away. Eventually it will come, and you're gonna understand, you know, it's gonna be too late by then. But the best option you have is to, you know, balance everything out. Stop being greedy, stop being degenerate with your retarded ass mind, and, you know, use your power to, you know, to develop a greater good, you know, to help nature and stuff like that. So y'all gotta get out of your head out your asses and stop being retarded. And, you know, all you humans too, you gotta stop being stupid. Get out of your beliefs and biases, because that's what's causing you from being not relatable. But yeah, I'm gonna just leave it at that. Peace.